What is the date today?
17th.
We're here on the 17th day of August at beautiful UCLA, where it's a gorgeous sunny day as usual. And we're about to hear from Amanda, who will introduce her new study buddy. Amanda.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Has anyone ever gone to a shoe store and asked for their size and had the clerk say, "We don't carry that size"? Well, that was me. I'm actually a women's 13, which is an unheard of size, maybe not as noticeable, but quite rare. And I feel like this is a metaphor for my life in the sense that I've been presented not only by myself but by others with many challenges, and I have always been trying to overcome those ever since. Today I will be telling you about my past, my present, and my future. I hope you will enjoy meeting me because I think I am very self-motivated and optimistic. So first, I'm going to tell you about my past. My mom is actually a teacher at my middle school, and of course, I actually placed in the advanced math, which is her course. So I ended up having my mom as a teacher for 2 years of my middle school career. That was extremely difficult for me because she was definitely a lot harder on me than the other students. One day I remember coming in after taking a quiz earlier that day, and I was extremely nervous. I knew I didn't do well, I blanked, didn't have a good time. I could see the anger on her face when I walked in, and I walked over to her desk and saw my 6 out of 10 on her desk. I started crying, was completely upset, and although she was angry, she was very motivating and said, I know you know the material, you just blanked, so I keep working hard, and I ended up getting an A in her class. So that really showed me that even though, I had this big challenge and I was nervous with having my mom as a teacher, I was able to pull through and do well in the class. So now I'm going to tell you about my present. So currently, I work in a research lab at UCSB. I don't go to UCLA. I'm a pharmacology major, and this lab, however, is more chemical engineering. Not quite my field, but I said, okay, I'll go for it. We're going to give it a shot. So I'm still in the lab, and although there have been crazy hours, lots to learn, I kind of have felt like maybe I wasn't in the right place. However, I have learned more than I could have in any other class in the past year where I've been working in this lab, and we're now in the process of hopefully getting published. So I realized that all this hard work and perseverance through the times where I thought I really couldn't do it and couldn't master the material have paid off. And I'm really excited to be moving forward in the lab this year. Finally, I'm going to tell you about my future. I actually did track and field when I was in middle school, and I haven't really touched on running as much since. However, it has always been a goal of mine to be able to do the Nike Women's Half in San Francisco. So I began training and finally was able to sign up in June, and the race is in October, so hopefully I've been training at UCLA and we'll be training with some friends at UCSB, and I'm hoping to be able to complete the full 13.1 miles without passing out or getting too fatigued. So I have that to look forward to. But so far I've told you about my past, my present, and my future. Although I was born with normally large feet, I think that having that as a challenge and having other challenges in my life has just made me who I am and a better person today. So I hope you enjoy meeting me in the future. And now, thank you very much.
Very good. Over here? Yes, please.
Sierra.
Hi, Sierra.
I really like your speech. I think you had good direction. You told us where you were going, and then you told really good stories, like your mom being your teacher.
Yeah. Improvement.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
I could definitely tell, like, because you knew your own story, like, you were much more, like, relaxed with this one, but, I think maybe you still kind of, like, were trying to, like, calculate out, like, the steps in your head and, like, maybe...
Yeah, it definitely was.
It's very hard, so probably want you to walk and talk at the same time, so I understand. But, yeah, maybe just that.
Yeah, you'll see it. You still were bumpy.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's how we learn and grow in practice, is we see it and then we work it, and then it gets better. Sometimes students do this assignment. They do it in the second or third person, and it's easier. They talk about themselves and the distance. And that's okay. You chose to talk about yourself in the first person, and that was fun. You grabbed us with your big feet. That was great. And, everyone looked down at your big feet, and I did anyway. And I'm going, how big are they? Size 13 big? I guess so, yeah. And then you segued into that, and you had a good tie back to that and a good moral to your big feet, and so that worked beautifully. Your thesis preview was nice, and your SIG statement was fine. It's hard to talk about yourself. This is why I think this is a very difficult speech to do, because you don't want to boast of your vaulting virtue and say how bitchin' you are, right? I'm great, I'm a 4.0 student at UCSB, blah, 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 right? Right? But this is the kinds of things that are hard to deal with. So you talked about being in your mother's class and failing or getting a poor grade on the test and crying. That was good storytelling and a good moral at the end of it. Also on the pharmacology story, your second story, good story of, wrong, right, maybe get a publication out of it. So that was all worked out well. And then you told us about your Nike run and the challenge of that. That was a good story too. So you clearly, in doing both speeches, have understood and conceptualized the assignment and did a very good job. So thank you very much, Amanda. Do we have time for one more? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Any dupes? Any duplicates? Were there any anybody doing the same film?
Not that I saw, but I filled it out pretty early.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Okay, great. Life is beautiful. Okay, here we go. Rock and roll.
My name is Vanessa. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
So Plutarch once said, I would like a friend who does not, sorry, can I just start over again?
Just tell us what Plutarch said.
Plutarch once said, I don't need a friend who changes when I change and who nods when I nod. A shadow can do that much better. Today, I would like to introduce you to my study buddy, Christiana, who is far from being anyone's shadow. I would like to tell you about her past airport hectic experience, her present adventures, and future career goals. I know you will enjoy meeting her because she's adventurous, smart, athletic, and kind-hearted. So first, I would like to tell you about her past. When Christiana was 12 years old, she actually took a trip with her grandparents to Slovakia, and her grandparents had been living in California for a couple years, but they still had a very strong European accent and didn't understand English very well. So when they arrived to the airport, her grandparents actually went to the wrong boarding gate, and then they realized this 10 minutes before their flight was going to leave, so they had to run across the airport and make it to the correct boarding gate. But when they got there, the doors were already closed, and her grandpa was very angry and misread a sign that said, "Do not open the door, the alarms would ring." And he went ahead and opened it anyways, and the alarms started going off, and the security guard actually came and tackled her grandpa down and then took him into questioning. They were able to make it the next day. But even at the moment, Christiana wanted to just run away and hide and pretend she wasn't related to her grandparents. But she's actually very proud of where she comes from, and today she actually speaks Polish and Slovak, which were some language barriers that have gotten her grandparents in trouble in the past. And now I would like to tell you about her present.
Christiana's a fourth-year student here at UCLA, and she's studying psychology, and she's also part of the UCLA women's soccer team. And she grew up in Malibu, and she goes back to Malibu and constantly serves. And there's actually one spot that doesn't have any lifeguards. And growing up, she was part of the junior guards, so she knows CPR and water safety. And one time when she was out there, she noticed that there was like a beginner trying to serve, and the beginner actually like crashed into the board and was just like in the water. And one of the surfers like brought him back to shore, and she actually gave him CPR. So we see how kind-hearted she is, and she's willing to just help anyone out there. And now I would like to tell you about her future. So Christiana plans on taking a gap year once she's finished here at UCLA, where she will complete her nursing prerequisites. And once she completes her nursing prerequisites, she plans to apply to master level programs in California and Hawaii. And in the future, she hopes to move down to San Diego and hopefully work at the Scripps Hospital and continue her hobby of being a nurse, or of surfing, I'm sorry. And in summary, I have told you about her past, present, and future. And as you can see, Christiana is truly an individual who is true to herself, and I'm sure Full Charge would be proud to have her as a friend as I am, because she's a true individual who doesn't stand in anyone's shadow.
Thank you. Okay, I guess we're back over here. Yes, please.
Yes, your speech is
Name?
Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Your speech is very fluent, and I like the stories you told us. And it's good. It's interesting.
Improvement.
Hi, I'm Logan.
Hi, Logan.
I just think like you moved, but I feel like your movement was kind of unnaturally looking and
Got practice moving. Vanessa Plutarch, you kind of stuck in your mouth a little bit, so say it a bunch of times if you're going to quote him. Gosh, and it's a great quote, and a friend is more than a shadow, isn't he or she, right? So yeah, that was a great quote. And I like the way you didn't just have an abrupt transition from your quote, but you had a transition when you said Christiania is anything but a shadow. And you gave us her hectic airport experience, her present adventures, and her future career goals. So first you told us a story about her grandparents not really knowing how to get around airports and opening security doors and getting tackled and her wanting to crawl under the rug, and that was a good story. Just a little moral from you would have been helpful at the end. More narrative of you of, and now that I've told you about the past, let's go to the present. In the present with your voice, she's a psych major. She's also on the soccer team, and she likes to surf in Malibu, where she's lived all her life, okay? She saved a surfer's life and gave him CPR. That was a good story. That was well told. Finally, on the future, the gap year, the going to nurse, and then surfing down at Scripps, all sounded consistent with what your study buddy wants to do. Your summary, your conclusion, and tieback were fine. You said, make eye contact with everyone, talk at a speed that everyone can understand, take steps walking to the left and right. How did it go?
I did try to make eye contact. I tried to slow down a little bit from last time, and I guess walking was actually harder than I thought, and it was like seem unnatural, so I definitely need to practice.
Practice when you're at home and stuff, yeah. And don't glance over her as if she's going to correct you. Just glance out here and keep your focus on the audience. You did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, hi, I'm Christiana.
Hi, Christiana.
So there are about 7 billion people on this planet, and what's so amazing is that every single individual has their own unique story, has their own unique experiences, and has their own dreams and aspirations. And today I'm going to share with you one of those individuals from the billion people that live on this planet, and her name is Vanessa. So I'm going to tell you about stories related from her past, present, and future. So to start off from her past, Vanessa used to live in a town called Linwood. And Linwood is a town outside of Los Angeles, and it's known to be unsafe, and there's a lot of high crime rates. And when Vanessa was in high school, her parents decided to move to a safer neighborhood in Hesperia with her 3 brothers. And during one weekend, her parents were out of town visiting a family member in Los Angeles, and her brother and her were at home alone. And during this time, the phone began to ring, and what happened was she noticed someone picked up the other phone. And to her this was strange, so she dialed the home phone number on her cell phone to see what would happen, and it turned out the same thing happened again, where someone on the other line picked up. And it was just strange to her because it was only her and her brother at home, and she was nervous and had to stay calm, so she called the police. And what happened was they found the phone underneath the bed, and the back door was unlocked and open. So this just goes to show how brave of a person she is, and how she's good at being calm under pressure and is willing to sacrifice for her family. And next I'm going to talk about her present. And so Vanessa is currently a graduate from UCLA, but is taking classes here. And she is living in an apartment off campus with a few roommates. And so during one of the nights, her roommate came up to her and asked her that if she would go to Panama with her, and if she would like to go do a vacation with her. And Vanessa was kind of thrown off by this and wasn't really sure how to react, but it turns out that her roommate was sleepwalking and talking to her at the same time. So this just goes to show how Vanessa is very understanding and is able to turn awkward situations into funny and bright situations. And lastly, I'm going to talk about her future. So Vanessa is very passionate about working in the medical field, and she enjoys working with infants and young children, and she hopes to one day work at a children's hospital. So this just goes to show how dedicated she is and how willing she is to pursue her goals. So ultimately, I've told you about her past, present, and future, and she is definitely someone that is, inspirational in her own way, and is dedicated and willing to go the extra mile. And she is just one more individual that I have the pleasure of meeting from, many people that live on this planet. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Vanessa Franco.
Thank you. What'd you like? Where are we? Over here.
Hi, I'm Alejandra.
Well, didn't like anything.
No, I did. I feel like I came in and I was flustered. But anyway, I think I like just the way that you speak, and you're really calm and speak slowly, so that's easy to understand.
Ruben.
Hi, I'm Rita.
Hi, Rita.
One improvement would be I felt like you had trouble with your hands, so you didn't know what to do with them. So just to work on that.
Yeah, I don't know how much we got your hands in there, but watch them on YouTube. real quick, you start with an arresting statistic of how many people are on the planet, and you kind of tied back to it in the end. I don't know how great a grabber that was. It was interesting. You know, she's one of 7.3 billion. Try a poem, a quote, a story, or a joke next time. See if that doesn't work better. I loved your story about the guy, either the woman or man, that was in her house under the bed answering the phone. That was pretty weird. That was a good story. The story of the sleepwalking roommate, good story. And then the story of her, and I like, you notice she had a moral at the end of each of her stories, a very clear moral, and that was excellent. Summary, conclusion, tieback was good. You said make better eye contact, work different sides of the room, and speak clear. How'd it go?
I thought I could have maybe worked like the different sides of the room more clear, you know, like in 3 listening points. In terms of making eye contact, I could have looked more around the room. Like I focused more on this side.
On that side. Okay, work on that next time, Christiana. You did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, our work is done. How many more intros are left? Okay, we'll start the film speeches as soon as we finish. So have your film speeches ready to go on Wednesday? Yeah.
I do the study ready last time, but I didn't hand in the respect self-evaluation. Sorry.
No problem.
I was confused about the time limit for next week.
Yeah, make it short.
4 minutes?
4 minutes. Why? What did you think it was supposed to be?
I saw 5 and 4 here.
Yeah, 4 minutes for the film speech.
Will this film begin with the A group and then B group, or just volunteers too?
Either way, we'll see how it goes. Why, you want to volunteer?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Hi.
I talk you with my speech, and I want to maybe speak for.
Yeah, sure. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know sometimes what stories are really good stories.
The ones that are interesting, intriguing. You know, like that story about the guy under the bed, the burglar. That was a good story.
Yeah,
The yo-yo story, that was a good story.
yeah. Something can attract one's attention, maybe.
Yeah, grab attention. Has kind of action in it, and suspense, a love interest, some twist to the end that people don't expect, something unexpected. You know, your book talks about having something unexpected in your speech, so to grab your audience's attention and perk them up.
So in terms of the film speech next time, so those stories maybe need more emotional elements. Maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it may not be some unexpected stories.
Well, it'll just be emotions from your life. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You'll do fine.
Those stories must happen on myself, or something I see is okay.
Something similar that happened to you, like Old Yeller. You have a dog.
Okay.
Your dog died. You have a cat. Your cat died. Your mother died. Your brother died. Your grandfather died. Something like that.
Something related to me, and I feel the
You
emotion.
feel the same emotion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you had it. Yeah. Okay. Your name's Rita, right?
Yeah.
Lovely Rita, meter maid. Okay.
Yes, another question. I have said the film on the sheet, but I want to know if there is a maybe I will change the film.
Yeah, that's okay. But don't wait too long because you're going to put it off. Choose now and get it done.
Okay.
Get it done. I'll call on you first.
Patricia, don't forget to mark the self-evaluation on the evaluation page.
Yeah, turn it in next time.
No, we've
We
handed
can
in.
take it on page.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, right here.
Self-evaluation and for Linda and Sarah.
Yeah, you didn't put your name on it?
Yeah, but we forget to mark this. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
We forget.
We forgot
That's
to.
okay. That's
Okay.
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 Thank you.